今日头条, the website of CCTV, its WeChat, and the terminal CGTN, and Baidu Baijia public account, and we have the 6 platforms for the live streaming to show you this expressway.
这是我们普通的，这是我们传统的沥青柏油高速公路。
This is the traditional road. It's made by the bitumen.
这边呢，透明的一种毛玻璃材质的一种新型材料。它是这个。
And this is the transparent material. It's made of glass.
非常的粗糙，比这个沥青路面呢还要粗糙。
It feels rough.
给大家看一下仔细的特写。
Much rougher than the bitumen road. We can have a closer look at this.
这是传统的沥青柏油路面。
This is the traditional bitumen road.
新型的这个光伏太阳能光伏这个高速路面。
This is the new type of PV expressway.
可以看到它这个材质呢，像毛玻璃一样。
We can see that this material is much like the rough glass. It's semi-transparent.
这样可以确保这个有一定的透光率。
In this way, it can ensure the light penetration. It's installed with the solar panel battery.
这一段路面呢？
We can see this section of the road. Let's take a closer look at its surface. The road section, which is about for the trial operation, so its length, it is not too long because it's just for the trial operation.
我向工作人员拿到的材料呢？ 这一段路面大概是
According to the material I get from the relevant persons, it's about 1,120 meters. The pavement length is about 1,200 meters. But the length of the PV road is about 1,080 meters. It is used to test various kinds of performance, and it is enough. In the future, it may be lengthened to several hundred kilometers or several thousand kilometers. Maybe in the future, all of the roads will become PV road expressways. Of course, this is just a dream.
这里有一些展板。
There are exhibition boards.
那么这样的路面呢？它具体有什么玄机？我们是来探秘的，提前抢先探秘。
So,
那么具体它有
what are the mysteries of
超级的
these
地方
road
我们来请
surface?
教一下设计这个路面的专家。
What are the wonders
大
of
学
these
交通学院
road
的教授
surfaces?
研究这个项目呢，已
Let's
经有很多
interview
年
the
了。
the experts. He's from Tongji University,
好，我们把这个
from the traffic department. Now let's take
您好，张教授。
another
您
look
好，您
at
好。您是
the surface of the
上海同济大学这个交通学
Good
院还
morning,
是？
Professor
我
Zhang.
是同济大学交通运输工程学院道路与机场工程系
I'm
的
with
张洪超。
the
那么这个研究这个项目有多少年？
engineering
这个项目呢，从开
college
始
of
到
Tongji
现在已
University.
经有
How long
8
have you
年
been
的时间
studying
了，
this project?
转过年去9年了。
这么
It's
长
about
时间
8
还出乎我
years.
意料之外，怎么这么长时间今天才开
So
始投入这个
it's so long.
实验呢？
It's out of
说
my
句实在话呢，
expectation,
这
so
个说
it
来
has
话
been
长
in preparation for such a long time. Why was it just operated today? It's a long story. At first, we put forward this project, and people felt that this project are forward-looking. So we tried to get support from various sides, but we met difficulties. First, they believed that 8 years ago, the cost of the PV and electricity generation is high, and the feasibility is low, so we have met difficulties. So in recent years, with the development of the PV, electric generation, our PV electric generation has accounted for 80%. So the cost has been lowered significantly, and the PV solar panel has cost has dropped by over 90%. So after it has become feasible, then enjoy rapid development. So it's about, so you have the idea in 2008. At that time, the major material is multi-crystal silicon, and what are the prices there? At that time, the multi-crystal silicon is about one piece for 300 to 400 yuan. But the different, according to different quality, and one piece is about over several 20, 30 or 40. So the prices varied. So it has become possible for we to use the multi-crystal silicons. And so what are the bottlenecks? You may imagine first the carry loads. First, the PV battery is weak and is about several millimeters, and it should carry the shock of the pressure of the vehicles, and then we should develop the technology for them. So we should have the technology to protect them. In this way, they can carry more vehicles. Another problem is like this. It is in the outer space, and it has to go through the forces of the elements. So how to make it enduring, it is also difficult technology that we should develop. And our audience may be very curious about the road service. So can you explain to us the technology there? So where we are is at the emergency road of the expressway. Its width is about 3 meters. So it's the emergency parking lot. The surface of the PV expressway is not only about the components of the PV electric generation. It's not only about a PV panel. Actually, it's constructed by the road base and PV electric generation. And so it has several layers. So the surface of the expressway, from the basis to the surface, there are dozens of layers, including the PV electric generation through the engineering design, the strength design. We should not just see it as a component. Actually, we have used multidisciplinary technologies to design this. We can see the surface is about, it's semi-parent. It's like the frosted glass. So is it from the frosted glass? No. If it's glass, then it cannot carry so much weight. So we can see the surface here. On the website, there are media have called it the transparent concrete. We can understand it like this because we use this material to make it transparent and make it to carry the heavy loads, and so we have designed this special material. And many of the audience have also asked us, it's like the glass, it's a transparent concrete, and can it resist the high temperature? So we know that the bitumen road on summer may melt. So can it resist high temperature? And you can be assured there is a test to. There is a test. When we have prepare the road, we should go through several tests to resist the temperature, and we have strict test. And I can explain it to you in more details. And here, in ordinary bitumen road, at the highest temperature is about over 60 degrees Celsius. Because bitumen itself is black, it can absorb the temperature. So below the surface, 2 centimeters, the temperature can reach 60 degrees Celsius. Around the world, and also in China, all the road surface should have the test to go through a peripheral temperature of about 60 degrees Celsius. Then we'll have another test to test its endurance, and then we'll make it in an environment of very high temperature. So you should not be worried about this. And it also resists the pressure. For instance, a lorry may carry the concrete or steel. How much weight can it carry? The strength of the material is about 10 to 20 times of that of the bitumen. So you should not be worried about its load capacity. So the technology has applied for a patent, and then it's automatic. It's the patent of our own country. So it's shimmering under the sun. We can see directly under the sun. It's shimmering. And it's shining, and it has the feel of a frosty glass. But when it was snow, when it is rainy, well, people sliding. So, is it good for the car to stop? The friction directly affects the safety of the vehicles. So we pay attention to the safety standards. And our country has several standards for the safety standards to test the friction of the cars. And we have chosen the strictest condition to test the vehicles and the road surface. Be it whatever the road surface it is, we should have the most strictest conditions. For instance, we spray the water on the surface to test the vehicles. So after the test of the qualified departments, then our standards much higher than the national standards, so you should not be worried about it.
And what about the friction coefficient compared to the ordinary asphalt pavement? This is much higher than the asphalt pavement. And let me feel it. I think it's really, really good in friction performance. And the hand feel is quite rough. I think this also provide additional friction. Let me give you a closer look. This is the pavement, the surface compared to the ordinary. This is the ordinary asphalt pavement, and this is our PV road surface. You can see very clearly, and this surface is much rougher. I think this provides additional
实际
friction.
上，这个路面的抗滑力啊，从我们专
And
业
this
上
also
来讲
help to
啊，
have a
它
larger,
主要
a
就是
bigger
来
number
自于我
in
们
friction
平常
coefficient.
老百姓说的这
Talking
个毛
about
毛
an
糙糙。
anti-skip
啊，我们专业
performance,
上讲呢，叫表面
we
纹理，
talk about this is
或者叫构造深度。
roughness. We talk
可以
about
给
the
个特写啊
pattern
看一下。
of the surface. This is what we call it.
你看这
Let me
个
show
表
you
面哈，表
in
面
details, a closer look, please.
啊，
This is the surface, the
这个表
pavement.
面呢，它是高低不平的。 它这
Okay,
个
here
高的地方和凹进去的地方，
this is not
这个
flat.
深度，我们啊有一个
We
专门
can
的
have
实验
the
方
higher
法啊，去
and
测量
lower
它，
places. We
叫做
actually
表
have
面
a
构造纹理
test.
深度。
We have a way to
这个呢，国
measure
家标准里也有规定。
the
这个深
surface
度太小呢，
or the
太容易打
construction of
滑
the surface. We
深
have
度
a
越大
national
呢，就有点
standard
像咱们
to
普通
measure
理解吧，就有
the
点像我们
difference
的鞋
between
底
the
上的花
highest
纹
and
啊，
lowest
它有
level
利
of
于
the
你
surface.
车辆轮胎啊，
Let's
跟
think
它之
about
间
the
形成这种咬合。
outsole of
提供
our
摩擦力。
shoes. It's same as
因
the
此呢，
wheel
这个
on
表
the
面我们
surface.
把它
We,
设计成这
for
种
the outsole of the shoes, is also have different pattern, the way, the different
这种材料这种路面
designs. That's also the purpose for the surface. Also make it with the
啊
different
大家听可以放
level
我看到
of
这个
height.
这个
And this all pass our tests, so do not be too worried about the
这
anti-skip
个
performance.
这个大屏幕呢是为了
Let's
今天
look
啊
at
给
the
大家更好地
screen.
解
What
释一下我们的
do
发
we
电
have
能力
here?
专门放
This
在这里
show you a very good details to
这
explain
个屏幕呢
the power
上
generation
面实际
capability.
上呢是我们
And
这
here
条光伏
shows
高速
you
这个发电智能网上监控，
for this
它可以
PV
显示
road.
啊我们目前这条
And we
光伏
also
高
have
速
a
实验站的
live
整体发电能力
monitoring and show you
实时地显示
exactly
也
the
可以显
live
示
performance
这
of
个
power generation.
它的累
This
积
is
的
in
发电的度数，节能减排的
also
效
the
益等等
accumulated power capability. This is we can have the installed
看到就是它实时
capability and how much energy we saved,
对
how much power we generated. This is all the live numbers.
天看这个屏幕稍微有点不清楚啊，来
对
特写
I
实功率
think we didn't can see it very clearly, but this is the key numbers.
月发电量，
This is the
这刚刚开通
monthly
早上刚开通
power we generated. We just put into service this morning. So till now we generated around 71.5
这个
kilowatt
当
per
地的
hour.
日出时间啊是
till
7点
now.
33分。我们的这
So
个
the
光伏路面的开
sunrise
机时间
today
呢，就
is
在日出时间前后，
7:33
是自动开机
a.m.
的。
this morning,
然
and
后
the
随
PV
着
we
日照
started
强度啊
around
不断增
7.
加
Actually, it's
它实时的发电功
automatically
率啊也在提高。到正午的时候
turned
呢
on.
它达到一个
And
发
we
电
can
功
see
率
with
峰
the
值。你看目前呢，
higher
我们现在的
sign
实时功率呢
rise, we have
是
the
103.34
higher number, and
千瓦
think around noontime we will have the peak
到目前
number.
为止
And
呢
right now we can
这
see
个今
the
天啊从7点
rate of
钟
power or the
7
rate
点
of
半左右
work
呢
is
开机
around
到现在已经发
103
了80
kilowatt per hour, and started this morning from 7:30 till now. We already generated around 80.8 kilowatt per hour.
我们呢保守估
So
计啊
talking
我
about
们这1公里
per year, let's say the
2个
number.
车道的光伏路面呢
So we have a very
一年发电量
conservative
在
number
100
or
万度以
conservative
上
estimation. This is 2 lane. So we think around 1 million megawatt hour
大屏幕有点
of electricity a year. This is against the sun, so maybe you cannot see it very clearly. And this show you
这里有
the live number of electricity, and also show you like how
二氧化碳多少，
much of standard coal
换算成
we saved, and the energy savings,
这个
like
呢
how
是有一个换
much
算公
carbon
式
dioxide
它是根据发电量
emission.
换算成这个你
Uh,
节约了
this
多少
is
标准煤，减少了多少碳
Basically,
排
the
放
power we generated,
相当
we
于我们
convert
种植了多少
into
棵
like
大
how
树
much
啊
energy we saved, or how many trees we plant.
这
To give you a rough idea
有
about
哪些功能我们在设计里边？
好的，
energy conservation. And talk about our design. During design, what kind of functions we consider? Right now, this is a PV road. So during our design phase, we really think about the combination of load bearing and power generation. We want to create a two-in-one. So where the power we generated goes to? So on the side, you can see we have a road light. That's on the expressway. That's not really usually you can see on the expressway, on the highway. This is not something you usually can find on the highway for the road lights. So we can see that's basically a charger. So the power we generated, we can use for light up the lights on the road, and we will also transfer to the grid. And you also see there is, let me show you, it can melting the snow. So this is the equipment for melting the snow. So during the winter, if rain falls, it will monitor the ice breaking, the ice conditions in real time, and it can help to automatically melt the snow and icing layer after snowfall. And we will test in real operation, but that's not in our design's pilot testing. And this is in our design, but not included in the pilot phase for this time. I think between the two lanes, we have a little part for asphalt pavement. Why we leave this space for asphalt pavement? Actually, this is the two lane of PV, and we leave a small space for asphalt pavement. That's for the technology or the electricity purpose. And we also think about for EVs, electric cars, vehicles, and we want to have the devices for EV charger. And that also can have for you to get your way by itself to the EV chargers. Actually, that's basically we leave for the future. We leave for, let's say we can count the numbers of cars is running through, and also help us to collect the big data. For the e-cars, right now, you not just basically provide the roads. We also need to think about the other corresponding or matching equipment purpose. So besides electricity, we also can provide other services. It's not only a highway, it's actually a smart highway. So let me show you in details. So we talk about is collaboration. So it's the power generation by solar power, and plus the highway equipment. And we also have to convert the energy transformation and information transformation. So based on the PV pavement or the green energy technology or other energy technology want to achieve in the end the electricity or hybrid functions. And we also build up in the end, be it by the end of the day, we want to achieve an intelligent or smart system. For cars, for power generation, and for big data collection. So we can see this is the smart highway or expressway. So we want to have the more smooth coordination between the roads, the car, and also have a better collection of data. So when we see the lights turning green and all cars can starting their engines and run. I'm not the expert in cars, but we know we have the information can exchange between different cars. We have the car networking and or internet of vehicles. They can achieve the information exchanging in real time. We can consider like as they all connected as a train. So when the first car starts to run, the rest of them also start the engine at the same time. So right now we leave a lot of connector, or let's say the ports on the paveway. For this time, we want to achieve a green energy or a solar power generation plus expressway. This is our first goal for the pilot test. And we also need other technologies and other departments to help us achieve other functions. And we just provide a platform. Right now, we're having a testing operation for today. And if we want to roll out to a larger scale, or let's say we want to roll out to other cities, what do we need to do? Number one, we need to upgrade it, the technology, make sure it can have a very good technology support as well as scale of economies. And we also need to have standards. We need to have the standards for the industry. Right now, we are formulate the industrial standards and want to also connect a Ministry of Transportation, want to publish the national standards. And we also need to have the support from the higher governmental authorities, that because this need coordination between different departments, the governmental departments. A question from the internet. We talk about how we can really charge the car. We talk about this is actually a mobile charging treasure. And how exactly the car can be charged while running through the pavement. This is what we call wireless charging function. I'm also the expert from this world. I may just give you a rough idea. For the wireless charging, actually, is if all the cars run at the same frequency, and they can basically have the receivers and the senders. For the senders, we talk about the devices or the components actually in our pavement. And they will have a receiver in their car. So when the car stopped, the sender and receivers connect to each other at the same frequency and to achieve wireless charging. Actually, we achieve that like our mobile phones. Right now it's possible for mobile charging. What about running cars? How then really achieve the charging possible? I think more or less the logic is the same, and we will also work with overseas companies plus our universities and other institutions. We are working toward this, and talking about the practice around the world, they already achieved that's under a speed of 100 kilometers per hour electricity car wireless charging. And we also have a pilot testing in Guangxi province in China. And we also want to know the cost compared to the ordinary asphalt pavement, actually during the pilot phase or during the research and development phase. it's not really good for your reference because still under development
在一
phase.
些
So the cost is
行业
not
这个
really
产业配套上面也需要有一些投入，因为
good
没有
for
现成
reference.
的材料和设备供你
It's
使用。
just a
我们
first
目
mover
前
in
呢，
China,
经过
and
我
we
们的
also
技术
not
攻
have the
关呀，
existing materials.
我们
So
在
all of
实
these
验
actually
室里
develop
的成本
ourselves,
已经
and we
突
also
破
make
或者说是
breakthroughs
低于
in
了3000块钱
technology.
人民币。
Talking about the
这
cost,
个
right now the
如果
cost
对外
in
公
our
布的话呢，
labs
实际上会引
right
起
now is
国外很多
lower
不同
than
的
3,000 RMB, but we cannot really publish officially because otherwise it will shock the industry around the world. Because for similar products
人民币。
overseas, their cost during the development actually is
如果
around
考虑到产业配套啊
14,000 to
项目持续啊
15,000, we
当然
half
比这
their
个费用还
price.
要高一些。
If we can get the industry support, of course the fees will be higher.
3000左右。
3000左右。
啊，
实验室的
For
实验
1
室里
square meters, our cost is about 3,000. For the laboratory, when it was promoted massively,
因为本身呢
then the cost
太
will
阳
be
能
lowered.
行业啊，这个它也在技术进步。
So the solar panel
我们的产
industry
业配套呢也在进步，
has
技术
witnessed
也在深化，
the
几方面呢，
progress of
它的这个
technology.
努力
Our
呢一定会使这个成
industry
本进一步
support
下降。
has also been during progress, and the technology will be technological
现在
cost
呢，
be
我们第
lowered.
一步的
So
目
in
标
the
呢
future,
是努力
the
的
cost
使
will be
它的技术
will
经
the
济
cost
性，
be
它的
lower
成本
than the
接
asphalt
近
road.
沥青或者水泥
For the
混凝
first
土路
goal,
面。
we try
第二
to
步呢
make
还
the
是地狱
cost
塔。
closer to the asphalt
对，
road.
那么这个
And the second phase is to make the cost
大
lower.
货车能跑吗？
So first,
能
we
跑
should
能跑
ensure the。quality.
这条路呢
Some of
本
the
身就是在
important
高速公路的
If the
主行车
lorries
道和
can
应急车
run
道
on
上。
this
对呀，我
road,
就想问一下，
this
为什么
kind
要
of
选
road
高速公
is
路
on the
因为
main
高速公路的要求是最
road
苛刻
of
的
the
最严苛的
expressway.
对
So
就
why
不
should
选
we
条
choose
普
the
通的路面。
expressway? Because
实际
the
上我们在
requirement
普
is
通
the
路面上也
strictest.
做
Why
过实验
shouldn't
段。
we choose the ordinary
只是
road?
这次做高速公路呢，引起了
And
大
we
家的这
have
个
also
关注。
done the
技
test
术上
on
有
the
充分的自信，我
ordinary
才能
road.
在最严苛的高速
Because
公路上
why
实
we
现。
put it on the
对。
expressway? Because it
好的。
catches much
那
attention.
么
So
为了让大家感受
when
一
you
下
we
这
have to
个
pass the
路
test in the
面
strictest
跑动的感觉怎么
conditions,
样
then
呢
we can
这个我来
promote
体
them.
验一下。
So
感谢
in
潘
order
教
for
授，
you
谢谢
to
您。
好，谢谢。
feel when we run on the road, let us experience it, and thank you.
好的，我们现在再来看一下，刚才我看到我约了一辆车啊，我们来体验一下，在车上
I have booked a
跑一跑
vehicle.
这个路面的情况。
Let us experience
好，师傅您好，您好，您
how
好。
the
这个
road is felt
我
when
们
we
来
are
试一下
on
这
the
个路面的
vehicles.
跑动的感觉如何？
Greetings. Let us try let us feel how it is
我们这个
when we are
车
on the
这个
road.
重量大概是多少吨？2吨多。啊。
So what's the weight of our
可以
vehicle?
跑快一点，
It's about 2
看看这个感
tons.
觉怎么样？
Let us run faster.
现在的速度大概是80多，很快就
The speed is
接近
about
100了。好，我们这个
over 80 kilometers per hour. It's approaching 100.
跑动起来感觉呢？
It's
试一
approaching
下刹车
100.
如何？
So when the vehicle is running, then we may try the brake.
好，我听到这个车，这个在报警，提示我没有系安全带。哎，我看到也有网友
I've heard the
提醒我
warning.
刚才
We
有
have
疏忽的确
not
是
run the
这个安全
safety belt. Also, the audience has also
在这里提醒网友
give
们
me
开
some
车一定要
tips
注意
that I
安全，不要
haven't
犯我
worn
刚才犯的
the
错误啊。
safety belt. So here I'd like to give you the tips to do not forget to wear your seatbelt when you are in the car. Do not make mistakes that I have made.
好，我看到有网友在问这个，在这个路面上行驶对时速有要求吗？那应该说，
Also, the
他们
question
之
from the
前
internet.
刚才
So,
专家
are there any
张红
requirements
超
for
介绍
the
的
speed
告诉我们
limit?
他们在平常的路面上也
Is
做
that
过测
Professor
试。
Zhang Hongchao has told
这
us
次拿
that
到高速公路上
on
来
the
呢，
ordinary
就
road they have
是
the
有
test
了
have
充
the
分
tests,
的
and
信
this
心，
time we
能
have
够
put it on
在
the
我们也知道这
expressway.
个高速公路要求
We
是
have
最严苛
every
的，
confidence
所以
that
他们 这条路
it
修在
is
高
the
速
safety
上也
can
是
be
对自己技术非常
guaranteed. We
有
know
信
that
心，
the
无论是
expressway has the strictest
抗压的承载
requirements,
能
so
力，还
they
是
are
跑的速
confident
度呢，
in
都
this
是
road.
完全没有问
Be
题
it the
的。他们
carrying
的设计
capacity
理
nor
念，设计
the
的
speed
这个
limit,
路面的
we
行
have no
驶的情
problems.
况呢，都是完全是达到了国家公路交通的标
They
准，
have
甚至
designed
是
this
远远
kind of
超过
road
了它的
to
一些
accommodate
性
every
能指标，
condition, and they
比
have
方
met
说
the
它的
national
抗压性
standards.
啊，
And
比
for
方说它
some
的摩擦
metrics,
系
they
数
have
啊。
surpassed the
刚才我
national
们
standards.
在
For instance, the low carrying
我
capacity,
们
for
待会儿
instance, the
再掉个头，
friction.
再感受一下不同的路面这个行驶的区别。
Let me turn around. Let us feel. Let us have different experiences in different road surfaces.
好，我们先在柏油路上行驶一段，然后再拐到这个路上来。
On asphalt road, and this is on the asphalt road. Then we will turn
好，
to
我
the
们拐
PV
上
road.
这个光伏路面。好，
Now
这两
we're
个路
in
面
the-
在切
on the
换的
PV
过程
road.
中呢，我几乎没有感觉到有什么不同。
When we
这
have
个
the
路面
shift
好不好呢？
between
我们
these
来
two
问
kind
一
of
下
roads, we
这
would have.
个司机师
I
傅哈。
almost feel no difference between two road surfaces. And what kind of road? How do you
好，
feel?
师傅
I'd like
您
to
注意
ask
安全，我们靠边
the
停一下
driver.
吧。啊，您在这个
So
行驶
be
过程中
careful,
感觉
so
这
we
两个
may
这个光伏路
park
面
the
和平
car.
常的沥青
So
路面有什
during
么不一
the
样吗？
running, how do you feel?
嗯，
How do you
您
feel
的
the
感
difference
受
between the
可以
asphalt
聊
road
一
and
聊
the
自
PV
己
road?
在行驶这个
I
路
think
面
there
的
is
感
no
受。
difference.
这个路面跟
Can
这
you
个
talk
普
to
通这
us?
个柏油路面
How
和这个沥青路面并没有
can you explain how do you
很
feel?
大的区别，感觉都差不多。然后这个制
There
动这个
there are
距
no
离呢，感觉
concrete
甚
difference
至比
between
正
the
常
PV
的路
road
面
and
要
the
更
ordinary
短
road.
一些。啊，跑下来
And the
100
braking,
跑
it
起来
seems
100
to
也没什么
be
很大的变化。
shorter than the ordinary
普
road.
通路面都一样的。
你说就是说刹车
There are
距
no
离
bumping,
和
no
这
significant
个柏
bumping.
油路面相比，还感觉更
So
短
how
一
about
些
the
对刹
braking
车效果
surface,
更好一些。
braking
对，
distance?
是这么回事。
It seems that the
行，我们再
braking
来感受一下。
distance is shorter and the effectiveness of the
刚才
braking
我
is
们
better.
是
So let us feel it
顺
again.
光朝西行驶，那么现在是上午偏这个
Just now we
这
we
个
are
9
running towards the
点
west.
半刚过哈，这个
Now it's
太阳
about
还是
9
基本上
a.m.
在东边一
at
点的位置，我们
9:30.
看看这个路面有没有反光。
The sun is still in the east, and
我们也知道，在城市里面开车的时候啊，这个很多玻璃大楼的这个很多大厦的这个玻璃幕墙啊，也造
in
成了
many
一定的
glass
光污染。
buildings,
好，
the glass
我们
walls
现在
have caused a
是
certain
朝
degree
东
of
行驶，
light
迎
pollution.
着阳光。现在阳光，冬天的阳光
We're
呢
running
偏
towards the
偏
east,
南
and
一
we
些。
are embracing the light, and the winter light
我们可以
is
看到这是太
tilting
阳，这是路
towards
面。
the south.
那么前面有一个向
We can
南
see
拐
this
的
is
弯
the
儿，
sun,
我们
this is
看
the
看这个
road
路面
surface.
反光
And there
情
is a
况。
turning
我们尽量往
towards
左
the
边的
south.
车道行驶一下。
Let's look at the reflection of the road surface. Let's leaning on the left.
好，我们现在基本上是迎着朝阳在行驶。大家可能，我现在偏
And
南一点，
we're
可能看到这
embracing
个
the
路面的
morning
反光
sun.
情况呢，
And let's
也是对
look
行
at
驶
the
来说，对
reflection
视
on the
线
road.
没有明显的影响。
It seems that the
远比城市
reflection
里大
cause
厦的那
has
种
no
玻璃幕墙
problem,
造成
cause
的
no
光污染要
problem
好了
to
很多。
the
因为它这个
eyesight.
表面处理的非常毛糙，
It's much
所以它
better
的反
than
光呢
the
不会像
glass
玻璃
wall
那
of
样
the glass building
这
because
个
the
让人
road
无法
surface is
接受。
rough. It's not so reflected as the
好的，
glass
谢谢那个师
buildings
傅
walls
我们这个
in the
体验这个
cities.
路面到此
Thank
结
you
束
so
我们这个
much.
好。
So it's the end of the experience. Also, there are some
安
questions
全
from the
性啊，还
internet
有这个反光性啊，
asking the
都提出了一
safety
些要求。
reflection of the reflectiveness of the road surface.
对，我看到有些网友在说，提问这个光伏路面
Yeah, some
它
audience
是
have
怎么
asked the
储存
questions.
电能的啊？这块儿我们来问问我们另一位专
How
家。
does the PV road store the electric power? Let's ask another
陈女士你好。
expert.
先来一个自我介绍吧，
Miss
陈女士。
Chen,
大家
greetings.
好，我是齐鲁交通发展集团投
Please
资
have
发
an
展部副
introduction
部
of
长
yourself.
陈杰，各位网友好。
I'm
也就
with
是
the
这个光伏路
investment
面的
development
投资方、建设方。
Vice Minister
啊
of the
好，我们往这边来一点，
Director of the
站在我
Transport
们这个光伏
Development
路面
Group
上来跟网友
of
进行
Qilu.
介绍哈。好，
Let's look at the. Let's stand on the surface of the PV road. You may have an introduction of to the
刚才有网
internet.
友在问，就说这样一个光伏路面呢，
Just
这
now,
个就
our
像是一个
audience
巨大的
asked.
充电宝啊，那它的这个电能是怎么
For
储
this
存
kind of
呢？
PV road surface,
是
it's
这样的
like
哈，
a
这个各位
huge
网友可以看我
charging
们前
pile.
面
How does the
是
electric
高压电缆，
energy be
然后这边是有路灯。
stored?
我们这个高速公路啊是在我们的
Is
这个
the
绕城环线附近。
high pressure,
目前为止，我们的这个技术的设计呢是，它通过我们这个光伏路面中间的
the
线槽，
technology
它会把我们的电并到国家电网
the
那个
PV
大网
road
里面去。
surface.
哦，也就是说我们这个不是
Electric
把
energy
它
being
储存
incorporated
起来
into
而
the
是
state
直接
grid.
上网。
没错，没错。所以说，
So
这个我
it
们
is
后
not
续在我们的
stored.
这个交通体系里面，
It's directly incorporated
暂
into
时
the
用到的
state
电呢，
grid,
是我们把电这个通过光伏路面
Later,
产生之后，
the
把它传到大网里
power
面
we。have
大网
used
作为一个更大的一个充电宝，然后随
are
时再下来。
transmitted
我们
to
上
the
网呢是有
big grid,
这政策补
and
贴，
the
可以带来
big
一定的
grid
收益。
act
然后
as a
用网呢，
charging
这个用电，然后这个相关的费用再支付给这个电网体系，其实就相当于把这个国家的电网变成了一个更大的一个充电宝。 在这个环保上呀、使用效率上，效果也更好一些。整
So
个的
we just use the
对
state
成
grid.
本，
The
对，
state
没
grid
错
is
没
the
错，是
charging
这个样子的。
power.
那么我们这个
Is
应该说是
act as the battery,
这个
and
世
so we
界
have
首
reduced
段
the cost.
这个高速这个光伏路面，这个今天是要试运
Is
行
the
的。
first
那
road
么作为第
section
一个吃螃
of
蟹
the
的
PV
这
road.
个企业呢，
It's
你
for
们
the trial
为
operation
什么
as
要修这条路
the
做得
first
很好
enterprise in
是
to
这样的，我
enjoy
们那
this
个齐鲁
feat.
交通集团啊
How do，you-
是我们
why
省
should you
管的
build this
功能性
road?
的资本投资运营平台。
Qilu
我们
Transport
主
Group
要的一个主营业务是经营全
is
省
the
超过
investment
3700公里的高速公路。
啊，就
is
是专
investment
业
platform for
做
the
对
这个
province.
交通路面高速
We
公路的这
invest
样一个
运
国有企
营
业。
对对
expressway
对，
over
今年呢，我们省委省政府
3,700
提出来了这个
meters, and so
新
we
旧
are
动能
the
转换。
state-owned
我们作
enterprise
为这个省管的功能性的一个
dedicated
企
to the
业，
expressway.
立足我们的职能
Our
定位，去
government
做一些相关领域的一些探索和
has,
创新，
given
也
us
是我
the
们国有企业
mandate
一个责无旁贷的一个责任
and。
我们
to
今年呢，就是
explore
立
the
足于这个
innovation.
怎样把这
So
个
this is
旧的动
our
能，把它通
responsibility.
过提升、改造和融
This
合，
year,
来产生一些
We are
新的、
dedicated
更好玩
to
的，也是更有用的一些
transforming the
东西
old。
所以我们
capacity
这
into
个
new
这个光伏
capacity,
路面也就应运而生
more。interesting
我们
capacity,
整
more
体的
useful
一个设想呢
capacities.
是，那个
So
未来会
the
提出
PV
一个叫
road
超级公路的一个理
was
念。
created
就现在而言，
against
我们
this
光伏路
backdrop.
面
In the
已经
future,
实现了功能呢
we'll-
就
we have
这
put
包括我
forward
们像附近
a
的这个
super
隧道呀、
highway.
路灯呀，
This
我们
is
的
our
这个
idea.
电子情报板的充电
Nearby
和
there
照
are
明已经完
tunnels,
全实现了。
road
这个未
lights
来中期的话，我们这个应该在
that
明年或者
charging
是明后
have
2年
been
吧，会
achieved,
着力探
have
索
been
这个无线
realized.
充电。当然，这是一个系统工程
Next
哈，除
year
了我
or
们这
the
个道路
2 years
这个运营
later,
商
we'll
本身可能
explore
还需要我们
the
上游的这个汽车制造
instant
商，包
charging.
括
Of
这个无
course,
线充电这个相关的科
we
研机构
should.
呀、研究部
We
门
need the
去通力合
manufacturing
作。
companies and wireless charging
对对对，一个
agencies
合作，但
for
是这
to
一块儿在
cooperate with
整
us.
个的在
So
高速公路的可行性上
Actually,
应该
that's
是
a
有问
need.
题的，但是
The
现在
work
比
need
较
to be done
这个
across
需要的
different
是一个
functions as
技
well
术的更加
different
成熟
companies,
还有一个包括这个
upstreams.
各个的行业标准啊。
So we need to have more mature technologies to support and also need to release the industrial centers. This is our midterm goal. I'm talking about our long-term goal. Let's be brief. For our expressway, our highway, although the speed is quite fast, but the environment actually is very easy, quite simple. So the car just run in the same direction and do not have people walking. So it's also easy for us to achieve in long term. Maybe 20 or 30 years ago, we can have a more unmanned driving vehicles. So using our new energies, and we have our electric guidance, so have them to rearrange and also can achieve unmanned driving. And this is more the intelligence interface experience. I think we can achieve that 10 or 20 years later. That's a very good exploration, and we'll have more intelligence application. I think this is very good. So we generate the power, we upgrade to the national grid, and then we also can use electricity to charge the vehicles. In the future, we're talking about the mobile charging treasure. That's how we really charge the cars if they charging by running through our pavement. Actually, this, let's say, it's a sharing power bank. So right now we charge the fees for passing through the expressway. So besides these fees, in the future, we will also charge for the EV charger. I think that's also very good for the infrastructure and construction companies. That's also another way to create profit. So for the expressway operational companies, I think this is a new way for pursuing profits. And we will also have additional capitals and efforts to invest in infrastructure construction. That's a very good push for advancing our infrastructure. So can we say that in the future, for the EV charger or the charging fee is comparatively cheap, or we do not need to have a very large size of battery? Right now, actually, half our cost is for the batteries. And why EV actually only limited to the urban traffic? Because we still worry about their battery duration. So if that car can be charged while running through our pavement, I think the EV cars can run a very long distance, even cross different counties or the cities. So also the EV car do not need to have a very large size of batteries. So it's help to lower the price of EV cars. I think these two goals reinforce and go together. We talk about the car is charging while running through. So is it possible that the car may not really be charged while running through? Actually, let's talk more about the technical or technology issues. Of course, this need to be further improved and upgraded, and we will do more tests and in the labs and in the real conditions. So when we roll out the technology, make sure it's very stable and safe. So right now for our mobiles, we also use the cables to connect the mobile phones and our power bank. I also have sometimes we didn't really charge or the connection is not good. Of course, any new technology needs some time to make it more visible. What about the reflection? Because we worry it's like a glass, and right now it's directly under the sun. People worry about the reflection of the pavement. Let me show you. I think the reflection, maybe you just see it from the camera, make it quite different. Let me show you by comparing to my mobile phone screen. Actually, this pavement is really rough. It's not glass. Glass can have a very strong reflections under the sunlight. Actually, big difference, as you can see. Our pavement and the screen of our mobile phones. Reflections different. This is reflection. See my phone? The screen is very strong, and the pavement actually is very, very good for the safety driving. so you do not need to be too worried about reflection. And Ms. Chen, talking about the future planning, any consideration for the future? For our company, we are the national state-owned companies. That's our social responsibility to pay back to the public, and we are also very actively to exploring the new ideas, new technologies to increase our profitability. For the public, for the private or the public companies, you are in the end the first mover in this regard. As a first mover, you are very brave because that we didn't know the results, and you are actually very strong to bear all different results and outcomes. I think we make a choices. For us, we have very rich resources of roles, and I think we are also the best one to provide a desired platform for testing, and we also would like to be the first mover to do some tests in order to push the development of the new technologies and also the creative new ideas application. I think that's also will, in the end, produce a very good scale of economy and a very good public effects. I also talked to Professor Zhang. He talked about the cost will be much lower in the future and even lower than the ordinary asphalt pavement for the investors, for the contractor. For the expressway, actually, it also costs a lot for highway maintenance. Like this kind of pavements, do you have any plan for maintenance? Expensive? Difficult to maintain? Actually, it's easier than the ordinary pavement. So when you see, it's very clean. Actually, we have the staffs. They're doing the daily maintenance. This is for the ordinary pavement. Actually, for the PV road, for the pilot, the life cycle is designed for 15 years. It's not the same as the asphalt pavement. It's not really need to worry about the crack. So we also have a little work for the little work required for maintenance. Just we need staff just to clean it every day. It's very easy work for maintenance. Any unexpected situation may happen, or we'll have the heavy stuff falling down from the sky to the road. It's easy to replace. Actually, that's also in our consideration of design. You can see for the small section, that's a small block, and the small block combined to a one section. Actually, they combine together by different sections, by different modules. So it's like the different pieces of windows. So if like the different sections may have issues, we need to replace it. It only costs several hours. It's not a really hard work. Like if the car accident happens for the ordinary asphalt pavement, how long does it take for maintenance? Let's say if the accident happened, that's actually cannot really consider in hours. That needs several working days. So for expressway, actually, if the blocks, that's really block the traffic, it's very not convenient, and that costs several days for recovery. Do we have a mid to long-term plan? As I mentioned, we have a plan for future application, and we can become a stable source of our assets. That's for our companies. So we can also link the upstream and downstream. We will also pack them all together and list it in the market. And that can help us to get a better yield rate. So are any plan we want to roll out to China, or not only China, to the world? until now, let's say, for Shandong province, we have 5,800 miles. This is for Shandong province, and this is right now we cover the 1 lane and emergency lanes. So we want to cover the Shandong province, that's around 60 million square meters, and we want to generate the 160 megawatt per hour. This is the really great amount of electricity we generate. That's a really, really a great achievement and breakthroughs. And talking about the smart transportation with technology developed further, I think the PV technology will also be even advanced. I think that will provide all the possibilities between the smart equipment, cars, and human being. Thank you for your introduction. Okay, we believe we come to the end of our live streaming. I really believe with our own patent technologies, we want to have more these kind of technologies, and they will be these kind of the PV road will be rolled out, and we will deliver green energy around China. We not only limited ourselves to China, we also, with the platform of Belt and Road, we want to share these technologies around the world along the route of Belt and Road, and want to bring the light and happy and good fortune around the world. Thank you for watching. See you next time.